Africans in the diaspora, what challenges are we facing? What are some of the struggles that we are facing as immigrants from the African continent into the US, the European countries, the Gulf, wherever we are in the diaspora? Let's talk about that. For me, after I started doing these personal videos, I've got a lot of feedback from people who want to continue these discussions in the comment section. So for me, I would say my biggest struggle right now, like as of 2024, is a financial struggle. And this has been going on, I think, over the past few years. I've been trying to get my act together as far as finances are concerned. The cost of living has gone up. I went back to school, I got my education just to try and better myself. But I feel like I did this much in order to improve myself, but it's not cutting it anymore. And the conversations surrounding that topic say that we are living paycheck to paycheck, and the cost of living is so high that we are not able to catch a break. And people are advising to have multiple sources of income so that we are not struggling so much, so that we are not entirely dependent on the paycheck. I got one comment from one of my followers on YouTube after I posted the video about talking about my financial challenges and how tired I am of just struggling and chasing my tail. And this person said, "You're a nurse in the USA. Kama mambo ni ngumu, you should go back to Kenya, wacha story mob." So what they're saying is I should stop running my mouth about how difficult life is. I should feel privileged because I'm a nurse in the US. Okay, so that's your opinion, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I do appreciate your comment and participation in the conversation. And that's the general perception, by the way, that because you're a nurse or because you're in healthcare, because you have this job that is paying you this much, then you should never complain about life being a struggle, because you should compare yourself with other people who have less income and who are in worse situations than you, and that should make you shut up, because you shouldn't complain because other people are less fortunate than you. That is true, and that's okay, but saying that somebody should not voice their concerns, or saying that somebody should not either say whatever is bothering them or share something, share a story, share an experience with other people so that other people can benefit, I don't think that's a fair comment. But anyway, we have to vent. Like I said, this is my unofficial therapy channel, and if you want to join in, you can do that in the comment section. So for me, it's the financial struggle that I have to come to a better understanding of what am I doing wrong, because I feel like I was doing better before, and now that I have my registered nurse degree, things just started going sideways for some reason. So maybe it's other factors in my life that contributed to that, and we can talk about those later. But for the moment, and I know a lot of people, is the bills. It's like you work just to pay bills. We don't have time to enjoy ourselves like we used to do before. Travel, vacations, to go to different parts of the US, go to Canada and stuff like that. So that's my biggest challenge. My other challenge is parenting, and I've talked about that, and we can delve into that conversation more. I have so many comments from that video, and I'll try to pull some of the comments from there and share them with you so that you can hear what the conversation is, how the conversation is going, and how different people from around the world are perceiving that topic and how they're doing in different parts of the world. My other challenge is work-life balance. So that's usually a challenge here for especially people in the workforce. If you're working, if you're self-employed, maybe that you're a little bit flexible because you're able to manage your time, work your schedule, and plan your schedule. But if you're employed, then you have a structured kind of time for you to be at work. If you're working 9 to 5, so my problem with 9 to 5 is not the job itself. It's the fact that that chunk of time from 9 to 5 is one of the most productive times for so many people, and you're out there just working for somebody else, and then you don't even have time. Like, for example, if you have like other errands to run, things that you need to do, things to attend to that are open during those business hours, now you have to take time off to go and attend those things. If you have maybe something else that you need to do, a side hustle, or if you're trying to start a business, those are the productive times, and you are at work for those times, like from 9 to 5. So it's not the job itself that I have a problem with, it's just the amount of time, productive time, that it takes for me to be at work the whole day doing something for someone else, as opposed to like maybe being self-employed or something like that. So, and then if you have a relationship and you're working shift work, so this is not really 9 to 5. This is like if you're working shift work. For example, when I was married and our daughter was like really young, and that's one of the biggest issues that we have here is parenting, trying to find work-life balance with personal relationships, not only like romantic or family relationship, but also like just general friendships. If you're working shift work and you're working opposite the shift from your spouse, you're not working the same times. So mnapitana, you're just passing each other at the door. Sometimes it will be because somebody has to be home with a kid. So, and both of you have to work in order to meet the economic requirements, like you gotta pay your bills. And then depending on the shift, if let's say, for example, my husband used to work, my late husband, he used to work a different shift from me. So let's say I'm working day shift, 7 to 3. So I'm leaving at 6:30, and maybe sometimes I would leave a little bit early so I can drop the baby at daycare. And then he would either work that night, so he would be able to pick the baby from daycare in the afternoon, and then go home and get ready to go to work. So munapitana hivi. So relationships get a little bit stressed because of that. It's strenuous because you don't have time for like meaningful conversations. Kila mtu amechoka by the time mnapitana. So now if you have, because when you work night shift work, sometimes you're required to work every other weekend. So if you don't make a plan to work the same weekend so that you can be off the same weekend, so you're always like on the opposite side of life. So you see that the relationships start going separate. You start going separate ways because you don't have time to spend together. The other challenge is, how do you balance sending money home and managing your expenses here? And that's a huge conversation that we can have on a whole different video, because sending money is back to Africa when you come here, is part and parcel of the lifestyle here for the Africans. But sometimes we do it to our own detriment, to a point where we are depriving ourselves just so that we can send this money back to our family members. I got an email the other day from someone who said, I'm not sure if it was an email or if it was a comment from YouTube. And they said one of the reasons is because, let's say, for example, you win a green card, or you find a way of coming to the US, and the whole village have a fundraiser for you because maybe you didn't have enough funds for the air ticket or for medical or for the visa fees, and you ask for support, which we do in the spirit of Harambee. We ask for a fundraiser and we raise money for people for different things. So let's say you are one of those. Umechangiwa, people have contributed money for you. And so now the village it's like the village has you by the balls, because you can't do anything. Like they expect you to like do projects back home. When you come here, they feel like they are entitled to the money that you're going to make. And I felt like that was a valid point. I'd never thought about that. Like, because they've raised the money for you, they are entitled to some of the money that you make. And you feel obligated to build for people back home, to pay people's school fees, people that you're not related to. And it's a very, very, very strenuous thing financially for someone to do. Like, you take their whole village and put it on your shoulder. You're responsible for all those people. That is crazy to even think about that. I've never thought about that. But that comment just, it held a lot of weight, because a lot of people come here, they're supported. There's contributions from the family, there's contributions from friends, and sometimes it's the entire village that comes together to raise money for you so you can come to the US. So that is pressure. Pressure being pressure, because first of all, when you get to the US, you don't start making money right away. You have to figure out how you're going to settle down with your family. So of course, if you come with family, the family is a priority. So you start setting your family up for, work here, school. If you have small kids, you got to start them with school. And then if you want to go back to school as well, you got to start looking for that. And then obviously, if you're living with your host and you have kids and a family, so you're trying to find your own place, because you don't want to be with a host for a long time. So challenges, Zico, there are very many challenges that face us here as Africans, and those are just a few. And we can dig deeper into discrimination and what we face in our different workplaces, and the kind of jobs that we do, and how those jobs affect us mentally, physically, and emotionally, and just different things that affect us here, specifically as Africans coming from the African continent into the diaspora, and especially in the US. So relationship-wise, because there's a lot of isolation here in America, Akuna, like sometimes people don't know their neighbors. I'm sure you guys have heard us talk about how isolating America can be. So you have to make an extra intentional effort to go out and mingle and find like groups or communities or church or whatever, so that you don't feel so isolated, especially if you don't have a huge family here. If you're alone, like you came by yourself, and maybe you started a family here, and so you have yourself, your children, and maybe you got married to maybe an African American, to a white person, to somebody who is from here. So then now you have to adapt their culture, and some people don't mingle with their Africans once they get married to the other side. So it's a whole topic, by the way. That's a whole different topic, and how interracial marriages and the cultures differences about that. So let's talk about all those things. Let's talk about, just give me your feedback about those things. Do those things make sense to you? Do they affect you in any way? Are you seeing those things wherever state you're in, whatever country you're in the diaspora? And how do you cope with those challenges? How do you manage? What are you doing to save your mental state? What do you do for fun? How do you manage your money? How do you manage your relationships? How do you get work-life balance to a healthy level? So let me know. There are a lot of conversation that we can have. I appreciate input also from African Americans, and also like original Americans from here, who are wishing, some of them they comment, they're like, I wish I had, somebody said, sometimes I wish I was born in an African country. As a Black American, it's really hard to find my identity. I'm learning more about my family origin, but sometimes I wish I can just say I'm going back home to another country. Thanks for sharing. I enjoy understanding things from someone of a different background from me. I have a friend who is from Haiti and seems to feel the same as you. I told my friend, even though we were born in different places, we still face the struggles in America. So I know it's not just us, Africans, like pure Africans, that are struggling. African Americans have participated in the comment section and they've shared their struggles as well. So I know it's not just us. So whatever solutions that we come up with in the comment section and we share together, I know is going to help a lot of people. So let's not shy away from talking about our struggles. Let's share, let's see what solutions we can come up with. This is the unofficial therapy channel. So if you want to come up here and vent, talk about what's bothering you, like, and what you think you can, or if you have solutions, let's use this channel to talk about these things so that we can all have a better mental state. Thank you guys for watching. Let's chat in the comment section.